The most dangerous thing in the underworld isn't Cerberus, the three-headed dog. It's not the judgment of Minos or the tortures of Tartarus. It's a river, a seemingly innocent flow of water called Lethe. One drink, and everything you are, gone. The ancient Greeks knew something we've forgotten. Memory isn't just about the past. It's what makes us who we are. And the gods' most powerful weapon against humanity wasn't death. It was oblivion. Today, we're exploring why forgetting might be the ultimate curse, and why remembering is an act of defiance. The Greek underworld wasn't the simplistic hell of modern imagination. It was a complex realm with its own geography, laws, and, most importantly, its rivers, 5 of them, each with its own power. Acheron, the river of woe. Cocytus, the river of lamentation. Phlegethon, the river of fire. Styx, the river of hatred, famous for its unbreakable oaths. And then there's Lethe, the river of forgetfulness, the silent destroyer. Its name literally means oblivion or concealment in Greek, and unlike the other rivers that punish, burn, or bind, Lethe does something far more insidious. It erases, not just memories, but the very essence of who you are. Think about it. What makes you, you? Sure, there's your physical form, but that changes over time. What remains constant is your collection of experiences, your memories, the accumulation of all you've learned and lived. Now, imagine that gone. Not just your name or what you had for breakfast, but everything. Your first kiss, your greatest triumph, the lessons from your deepest failures, your children's faces, your identity, all washed away with a single drink. According to the Greeks, when souls reach the underworld, they were given a choice before reincarnation. Drink from Lethe and forget everything from their past life, or remember it all in painful detail. Most chose to forget, to wipe the slate clean. But was that mercy, or the ultimate trap? In Plato's Republic, written in the 4th century BCE, he describes the plain of Lethe, a barren, cheerless place where souls gather before rebirth. There, they camp beside the river of forgetfulness, and each is compelled to drink.
And those who were not saved by wisdom,
Plato writes,
drank more than was necessary, and as each drank, they forgot everything.
This wasn't just about wiping away painful memories. It was about maintaining the cycle of suffering. Because if you can't remember your past mistakes, you're doomed to repeat them in your next life, and the next, and the next. The river didn't just erase, it trapped souls in a loop of endless rebirth and suffering. But certain souls, the philosophers, the seekers of wisdom, they drank only what was required. They maintained fragments of memory, carried wisdom across lifetimes. These were the ones who could eventually break the cycle. Consider Orpheus, the legendary musician who journeyed to the underworld to retrieve his wife Eurydice. What made his quest remarkable wasn't just his living presence in the realm of the dead. It was his refusal to forget. His memory of love was so powerful, it defied the very laws of death. The Eleusinian mysteries, secret religious rites practiced in ancient Greece, were deeply connected to this concept. Initiates were said to lose their fear of death because they gained special knowledge about the afterlife. Some scholars believe they were taught techniques to retain memory after death, to resist Lethe's power. This wasn't just mythology. It reflected a deep understanding of human psychology. The Greeks developed incredible memory techniques, from the memory palace to mnemonic devices, not just for practical purposes, but as spiritual practice. To remember was to resist oblivion. There's something profoundly disturbing about memory loss that transcends cultures and time. From Alzheimer's to amnesia, we fear losing our memories because we instinctively know that they are us. Without them, we cease to exist in any meaningful way. Modern neuroscience confirms what the Greeks intuited. Our memories aren't just stored files. They're the very architecture of our minds. They shape how we perceive reality, how we make decisions, how we form our sense of self. The Greeks weren't just spinning tales about a magical river. They were wrestling with profound questions about identity, consciousness, and what it means to be human. And here's where Lethe becomes truly terrifying. It doesn't just erase memories. It erases meaning. Without our past, our actions lose their significance. Our loves, our sacrifices, or growth, all rendered meaningless when washed away by the waters of oblivion. This is why certain mythic heroes refused to drink deeply from Lethe. They chose to remember, even if remembering meant pain, because they understood that without memory, there can be no meaning. So why should we care about some ancient river in a mythological underworld? Because the battle between memory and forgetting isn't just mythology. It's the central struggle of human existence. Think about it. Our entire justice system is built on remembering, both crimes and precedents. Our relationships thrive on shared histories. Our personal growth depends on learning from past mistakes. Every culture has developed technologies of memory, from oral storytelling traditions to written language, to photography to digital archives. We build monuments, create holidays, establish rituals, all to ensure we don't forget what matters. When we say never forget after tragedies, we're not just being sentimental, we're recognizing that memory is moral. To forget injustice is to allow its return. To forget sacrifice is to devalue it. The ancient Greeks understood something profound about the human condition, that consciousness itself is a battle against oblivion. Every night when we sleep, we partially surrender to Lethe's power. Every morning when we wake, we fight to remember who we are. And with enough time, even the greatest civilizations can forget their own histories, their own wisdom. Entire languages and knowledge systems lost to time. Maybe that's why the Greeks placed Lethe in the underworld, because they saw forgetting as a kind of death. Not the death of the body, but something more profound, the death of meaning. So the next time you struggle to remember something important, consider that you're engaged in humanity's oldest battle, the fight against oblivion, against the inevitable flow of Lethe's waters that would wash away everything that makes us who we are. The most powerful act of defiance isn't facing death. It's refusing to forget. What memories define you? What would you be willing to forget? And what would you fight to remember, even if remembering means pain? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to explore more underappreciated aspects of Greek mythology, hit subscribe and the notification bell. Our next video will examine the fates and whether the concept of destiny is just ancient superstition or profound psychological insight. Until then, remember that in a universe bent on forgetting, the simple act of remembering is revolution.